Welcome to the March 29, 2021 special board meeting of the Chino Valley Fire District Board of Directors. The time is 4 p.m. This is President Sarah Ramos-Evinger, and we will now begin the meeting. Please be advised that this meeting will be recorded. Please silence your cell phones and devices to reduce background noise and disruption. In accordance with California Governor's Executive Order N-29-20, guidance from the California Department of Public Health, in an effort to combat the spread of COVID-19, the Chino Valley Fire District will hold all regular and special meetings of the Board of Directors remotely in hybrid format until further notice. Only board members and essential staff will be present in the boardroom, and the public may attend remotely by using the link on the district's website and agenda. The public may join the meeting real-time in listen-only mode. Instructions and the GoToWebinar URL link for the meeting are listed on the agenda. Our agenda is posted on our website at cbifd.org. Please be advised that when you join the meeting real-time, your screen name will appear on the GoToWebinar screen. The board will accept public comments on all agenda items under public communication. The public had two options for participating in public comment. One option for participating in public comment was to submit comments to the clerk of the board by email at clerk@showfire.org prior to the beginning of the meeting. Comments received by email will be read real-time by the clerk of the board during the specified time. Emails are limited to 300 words. Please note that your name will be read into the record. The second option for participating in public comment real-time is to register prior to the meeting at the GoToWebinar URL listed on this agenda. If you have registered for public comment, the clerk of the board will call you and unmute your microphone when it is your turn to speak. Attendees may also need to unmute their own devices to be heard. When your name is called, begin the public comment by stating your name and address for the record, and the address is optional. Comments must be limited to 5 minutes. For recorded viewing of the board meeting, you may access the Fire District website the day following the meeting at www.cbifd.org and click on Video or Archive. I will now open the meeting and take roll call. Please answer your name when I call your name. Director Wynn Williams.
Here.
Director Harvey Luke.
Here.
Director John DeMonico.
Here.
Vice President Mike Krieger.
Here.
And myself, present. Okay, and if you will all join me for the flag salute.
Sure.
Thank you.
Please join me in honoring our great nation. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Vice President Krieger. And Chief Robbie, Fire District Chaplain, is joining us to present the invitation. Are you there, Chaplain Robbie?
I am. Thank you, President Ramos-Evinger. Please bow your heads with me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for your grace and your mercy, and we especially thank you for your divine love. I pray for your continued protection over our fire district, over our families, and for the communities we serve. I pray for your strength, comfort, and healing for those that are sick or injured. And I pray this afternoon for wisdom and guidance in the decisions that our board members will make regarding the resources and provisions that you and our cities have provided. May these decisions honor the cities we support and glorify your name. We pray this in your precious name. Amen.
And thank you so much, Chaplain Robbie. Public communications. This is the time and place for the general public to address the Board of Directors about subjects that do not appear elsewhere on the agenda. The public may address items on the agenda at the time addressed by the board. Due to board policy and Brown Act requirements, action may not be taken on any issue not on the agenda. When you address the board, please state your name. Again, the address is optional prior to making your remarks. Please limit your comments to 5 minutes. Clerk of the board, do we have any requests to speak?
Good afternoon. We have no request to speak.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, before I adjourn the open session to closed session portion of the meeting, I will read the closed session items. Conference with labor negotiator. Meet with board previously appointed negotiators, Fire Chief Tim Shackelford, Finance Director Steve Heidi, and Human Resource Director Christy Kuchara regarding negotiations between the Teamsters Local 1932 non-safety unit employees and the Chino Valley Fire District per Government Code Section 54957-6. Conference with labor negotiator. Meet with previously appointed negotiator, Fire Chief Tim Shackelford, Finance Director Steve Heidi, Human Resource Director Christy Kuchara regarding negotiations between the Chino Valley Professional Firefighters Local 3522 CBPF Safety Unit and the Chino Valley Fire District per Government Code Section 54957-6. Conference with legal counsel. Anticipated litigation. Significant exposure to litigation pursuant to paragraph 2 of subdivision D of section 54956.9, letter dated March 8, 2021 from Derek Dornan, Juan Carlos Parra, Kyle Williams, and Rosa Yodi. Clerk of the board, did we receive any public comments on the closed session items?
We have no public comments.
Thank you. I will now adjourn the open session to closed session. We will return to the open session once the closed session has concluded. The closed sessions will conclude approximately 4:45 p.m. Meeting attendees should now disconnect from the GoToWebinar URL link when the closed session adjourns. When we return to open session to report, when we report out of closed session. Okay? Thank you. Okay, it's now 5:32 p.m. and I'm going to open the meeting to open session and take roll call. Please answer your name and when I call your name. Director Wynn Williams.
Here.
Director Harvey Liu.
Here.
Director John DeMonico.
Here.
Vice President Mike Krieger.
Here.
And myself, President. Legal counsel, please report out of closed session, please.
Yes, the board met in closed session to discuss the items that are listed on the agenda, and they had conversations with regard to labor negotiations. They gave direction to the labor negotiators, and there was also a brief discussion with regard to the threatened litigation. No action was taken. No
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. So old business, none. New business, appointment of district negotiator for non-safety negotiations. Purpose is for the board of directors to discuss appointment of labor negotiators for negotiations with the Teamster Local 1932 non-safety unit employees. Fire Chief Tim Shackelford, would you please present your report?
Certainly. Good evening, President Ramos-Evinger, members of the board. On March 9th, 2021, the district received correspondence from Teamsters Local 1932 with a desire to begin the negotiations process for a successor MOU. And with that, it's recommended that the Board of Directors appoint labor negotiators for negotiations with the Teamsters Local 1932 non-safety unit. And staff would like to request that the board consider appointing Human Resources Director Christy Kuchara, Finance Director Steve Heidi, Attorney Oliver Yee of LCW, and myself, Fire Chief Tim Shackelford, as negotiators. That concludes my report. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Clerk of the board, did we receive any requests to speak on this item?
We have no request to speak.
Okay, thank you. This is a time for the board to comment. Please ask your question or make your remark when I call your name. Director Williams?
I have no further comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Director Harvey Liu?
No comment.
Director DeMonico?
No comments.
And President Krieger?
No comment. Move to approve.
Okay, so I have no comment either, and I have my motion. I have the motion. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so a second motion by Vice President Krieger, second by Director Williams. I now call for a roll call voice vote. Director Williams?
Yes.
Director Liu?
Yes.
Director DeMonico?
Yes.
Vice President Krieger?
Yes.
And myself, yes. Thank you. Motion passes 5-0. Appointment of district, item number 2, appointment of district negotiator for safety negotiations. Purpose is for the board of directors to discuss appointment of labor negotiations for labor negotiators for negotiations with the Chino Valley Professional Firefighters, Local 3522, CVPF Safety Unit. Fire Chief Shackelford, can you please present your report?
Good evening once again. Negotiations with CVPF Local 3522 have been ongoing with previously appointed negotiators, including myself, our Finance Director, Steve Heide, Human Resources Director, Christy Cruchoir. At this time, staff would like to request that the board consider including Attorney Oliver Yee of LCW as well with that group to continue on with negotiations. It is recommended that the Board of Directors appoint labor negotiators for negotiations with the Chino Valley Professional Firefighters Local 3522 CVPF Safety Unit. And that concludes my report. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Did we receive any request to speak for this item for the board?
We have no request to speak.
Okay, this is the time for the board to comment. Please ask your questions or make your remarks when I call your name. Director Williams?
No comment?
Director Liz?
No comment.
Director DeMonico?
No comment.
Vice President Mike Krieger?
No comment. Move to approve.
Okay, myself, no comment. I have a motion. Can I please have a second?
Director Lewis, second.
Okay, motion by Vice President Krieger, second by Director Liz. I will now call for a voice roll call. Director Williams?
I vote yes.
Okay. Director Liz?
Yes.
Director DeMonico?
Yes.
Director Krieger?
Yes.
And myself. That passes 5-0. Item number 3, correspondence from Derek Dornan, Juan Carlos Parra, Kyle Williams, and Rosa Yoda, dated March 8, 2021. Purpose is for the Board of Directors to discuss correspondence dated March 8th. And Legal Counsel Jeff Ballinger, please present your report.
Yes, President and members of the board, earlier this month, the board received correspondence from several individuals that were alleging that the board has taken actions that are unlawful and unconstitutional with regard to board member Williams. And this specifically relates to the censure actions and the other actions that the board has taken in response to board member Williams' past behavior over the last approximately 2 years. I have reviewed the letter as well as the cases and statutes that are cited in that letter. I have concluded that there is no legal merit to the claims that the board is required to rescind or otherwise modify the actions that the board has previously taken. And so therefore it is entirely within the board's discretion in terms of whether and what types of actions the board may wish to take in the future with regard to those censures and other actions. Those censures and other actions, by the way, are not on tonight's agenda. This is really relating to the letter itself, the legal merits of that letter, and any actions that the board may direct legal counsel or staff to do in response to that letter. With that, I remain available to answer any questions that the board may have.
Okay. Clerk of the board, do we receive any requests to speak?
We have no request to speak on this item.
This is the time for the board to comment. Please ask your questions or make your remarks when I call your name. Director Wynn.
Thank you very much. Yes, I would request that the statutes that were stated in the letter, you say that you have stuff that shows that this was not related or not relevant, and I would like to have a more detailed report is what I'm asking for. A detailed report in regards to how this is not, they are not relevant, and to show why they are not part of the problem, I guess, in regards to what's going on. So that's what I'm asking for, and hopefully we'll be getting that information. As I state, when I had made a statement of something being stated in closed session, Mr. Rosen from Best Recruiter was very intent on making sure that he read the whole statement in regards to how it was not a violation for the statement to be brought out in open session because it was not part of the agenda item. And in the same manner, I would ask that Best Kruger, either yourself or an attorney, make it clear in regards to showing why these statutes are not relevant to what's stated in the letter as far as them being not legal. So we do that. Appreciate it. And with that said, I'd just like to make a comment. This is probably mostly for the board members, but it's for the public also. When I came on board a few years ago, a little over 2 years ago, I didn't come on with the idea that I was going to cause problems and raise hell, make things difficult, and that type of deal. What happened is I got a letter, a threatening letter from an individual, and it looked like, as I recall, that letter was from one board member, the president, to me, threatening, and it was a unilateral thing. And a person on the board, I can't go to another board member and threaten them and say, well, I'm going to take action against you for doing something. It has to be as a board, so it has to go to vote. And I had brought this out, and it was offensive to the person that was going after me, I guess. And so there was a vote taken, and it was 3-2 against going after me. But then there was a vote taken at the next meeting, and it was 4-1. So go ahead and censure me and go after me, and so on. And again, I'd like to reiterate, it was not my intention to come on this board and cause all kinds of problems, as it looked like I did, but I didn't do that. I think that I was being singled out here, and I feel that the way that vote went is there was some talking done, and it was decided, well, we needed to vote against me. And it was a deal where it was shown by other things that they claimed that I did, and I don't even know what it was, to tell you the truth, that the board members made sure that they voted on anything they were going after me for. They were going to show that they were going to be unified in going after me. One member, because I called them on it. And so now we've got 4 against 1. Actually, I always said it was 6 against 1 because it was the chief. And
What does this have to do with?
hey, I'm talking. Okay, I'm not the one who stole money from the constituents. Oh my goodness, you thief! Keep your mouth shut. Just because they wouldn't do an investigation on you, they did an investigation on me, and they found nothing.
Did you not send that to the DA?
You ought to keep your mouth shut, Mike. And know when to keep your mouth shut, because you're nothing but a thief. You got it? I didn't steal money from the people.
Director Williams, please keep it on topic. okay, or I will have to cut your time. I want to
Okay,
give you
I
the
appreciate it. All I'm
Keep
trying
it
to
on
say,
topic.
all I'm trying to say is I
Keep it
didn't come on this
topic and
board
do not
to
attack
cause
the other
trouble.
board members. You understand? Please keep it on topic. Do not attack the other board members.
Yeah, and do you understand? I'm trying to say, I did not come on this
I'm
board to
going
cause
to allow
trouble.
you the time to finish. Please do not attack the other board members and keep it on topic.
And anyway, I just want it understood that it should be noted that, I don't like what's gone on. I don't like what's going on. I don't like these types of things going on in the public. I don't think it has to go on in the public. But, by the same token, I'd like to be treated like a regular board member, have all the same benefits and ability to, act like a board member. You guys treated me really badly. I mean, I even went to use the restroom one time, and you had me escorted out of the building because I went and used the restroom I wasn't supposed to use. How small do you get?
President, as a point of order,
Yeah,
no,
yes,
he
continue.
just,
Okay.
Yeah, my time's up, I'm sure it's up, and
Well, I
by the same
wanted you
token,
to
I want
stay on
people to know.
topic. We're discussing, if I need to go back, we're discussing the letter that we received.
It's the treatment of me that we're discussing the letter.
We're discussing the letter and how we're gonna proceed with that letter. So it is recommended the Board of Directors review and discuss correspondence from Derek Dorner, Juan Carlos Parra, Kyle Williams, and Rosa Yoda dated March 8th, 2021, and take any necessary action or provide direction to staff. That's longer than that we're discussing for clarification. So do you have any, I see that I wrote that you wanted more detailed report or explanation about the letter. Was there anything else about the letter specifically that you would like to discuss?
No, I just want you guys to know that I'd like to put this stuff behind us forever, all. Thank you very much.
Okay, so Director Lips, thanks.
Jeff, I just would like to understand, our options here, certainly from a legal perspective. I'm sure there's some response, or we have some responsibility here to respond to this in some fashion. I would hope, you could weigh in on that, please.
Yes, sure, Board Member Luth. The options are, one, do nothing, don't respond. Another option would be to have the board direct our office to respond to the letter and state the basis upon which our office has concluded there is no legal merit to their demands. Those are the two primary options. We could also try to reach out to the individuals informally. I probably would not recommend that. I think if the board wants to respond at all, my recommendation would be to have that in writing so there's no misinterpretation on either party's side.
Yeah, I'm most interested in a response from legal counsel that details your findings. But I agree, I think it should be in writing. But I don't like the idea of not responding. I think we should respond. So that would be my recommendation. I have my comments for now.
Okay, Director DeMonico.
When we respond to that letter, if we make a motion to respond to the letter, we make a motion rejecting the letter as well, or is that going to be just kind of an automatic response to the letter? Because you stated the letter itself really doesn't have any basis of any wrongdoing by this board. I personally believe that this board acted in accordance with all laws, in accordance with all protocols, in accordance with everything that the system stands for. I believe we did what was right, and I support that, and I still support that. So based on that, how would I make my motion if I want to respond to the letter? But we're not. I think think you understand what I'm saying, right, Jeff?
I do. So I think the motion would be to direct legal counsel to prepare a response uh, uh, responding to their letter, and our office would prepare that probably within the next week or so. I believe there was a demand for the response to be provided within 30 days. The letter came in March 8th, so we would do our best to get it out by April 8th.
Those are my comments. Okay.
Okay, all right. Vice President Krieger.
I agree with Director Luke, Director Monaco on how to respond. I feel like I need to make a quick statement here, or if you want to be treated like a regular board member, treat the rest of us like regular board members. What you just said to me was a file. It was inaccurate. It was disgusting. And I can't believe that you would sit here and scream that to me. That just disgusting. I hope you go back and look at the tape. It's perplexing me. That's all I have to say.
Okay, so it's my turn. So, legal counsel Ballinger, regarding the letter, you stated that you do not find relevance in it. And can you just comment on maybe a few brief items where the statutes or whatever that they're posing, and why you felt, I feel that we're discussing something, and I don't feel the public has had an opportunity to see this letter yet. So now that we're discussing it, it's available for the public, correct?
Yes, the March 8th letter is a public record, so if anybody is interested in seeing it, they simply make a request to district staff, and it'll be provided to them.
Okay, all right. And so you have said to us, Director Williams wants a more detailed report. Can you just summarize on some of the issues, how you feel for me, how you feel for us, and the lack of relevance, or the lack of supporting information that this letter has?
Yes, absolutely. For the most part, the cases that were cited in the letter are not what we call binding on the district. And the reason for that is they involved facts that are not applicable in the district situation. So in the law, if there's a case that has been decided and it has facts that are similar to a present situation, then that case law would be considered binding. But 98% of the cases that were cited in the letter involve different facts from the situation at hand here. So based on that, from a legal perspective, they don't bind the district, and they couldn't be used by a plaintiff to hold the district accountable.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. So, any questions? I'm going to give everyone a question about the statement that was made. Does anybody have any follow-up questions?
Only the fact that I'd like elaboration on Jeff's statement in regards to what he just said. And why is the department exempt? And I'd like to see the statutes relating to that.
And the letter that I would provide, I don't mean to interrupt, but the letter that our office would draft would go into detail as to those reasons. As I mentioned earlier, I think it's better to have those reasons laid out in writing rather than verbally.
Perfect. Thank you, Jeff.
All right. Okay, so at this time, I'd like to request a motion. Please state your name before the motion and what you're motioning.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Mr. Luke, I move that we direct legal to draft a detailed response
has been submitted to those who issued that letter.
And I'll second that.
Okay, so I have a motion from Director Luce to direct legal to draft a letter to submit to those who were issued, correct? And I have a second from Director DeMonico. I will now take a call for a voice vote. So Director Williams.
Do I have, before I vote, am I allowed to say anything, or do I have to vote just yes or no?
Yes, we finished our comments.
Okay, that's fine. I vote yes.
Okay. So Director Luce?
Yes.
Director DeMonico?
Yes.
Vice President Krieger?
Yes.
And myself, yes. So motion passes. Do we have, is that clear? Do I need to re-clarify anything? We're clear? I just want to
I'm
make
clear.
sure.
I'm clear. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay.
Just wanted to make sure it will be a detailed letter. That's all I was gonna ask.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So board comments. This is a time and place for the board to comment. Please provide comments when I call your name. Director Williams?
Is the chief not making any comments tonight?
No, because this is a special meeting. It's
Oh,
not our
okay.
regular board meeting.
No, I don't have anything further to add. Thank you very much.
Director Luce?
No further comments, thank you.
Director DeMonico?
Yeah, I got one, and it goes to the last meeting. This is to you, Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, this is your final notice that I'm giving you to cease and desist your hostile actions towards me. I've told you numerous times I do not want you to touch me or be in the vicinity of me. Please stay away from me. After the board meeting of March 10, 2020, I was on a very important phone call. You startled me when you came up behind my back and started talking. I did not know you were there. You didn't even have your mask on, which is even a further threat to me. This is very inappropriate based on all of the past events, including battery, which I filed a police report, and numerous occasions where you accused me of wrongdoing and that I am a felon amongst other things. You even accused me tonight of writing a letter that I never wrote. Mr. Williams, I do not trust you. I believe you have anger management issues. I believe these issues have surfaced numerous times over the past 2.5 years, and you have been on the board. You have been censured 4 times in these censures. You have been censured 4 times, and in these censures, there are notices of you attributing to a hostile and harassing work environment. I believe that I, as on this board, am entitled to a hostile-free or a work environment. This communication is to guide you that I will pursue to the fullest extent of the law of your persistence to harbor a hostile work environment towards me. Mr. Williams, please stay away from me and do not sneak up behind my back anymore. And with that, I'm done.
Vice President Krieger?
Well, first off, I'd like to make a comment about how bad I feel for City of Chino. They lost a great leader with the passing of Mark Hargrove. So prayers to him and his family on that. Mr. Williams, I have been, I think, the one board member to help you out the most. With you screaming at me tonight, I even offered to be the liaison person for you with the fire chief conversation. I'm going to be considering to asking President Ramos Evinger to remove me from that spot. Honestly, I don't know if I want to take part in that with you. I find what you said vile, with no merit whatsoever. Just because you say it's so doesn't mean it's so. You accused this board of going after you. You just went after me. So you think that 2 wrongs make a right? What is it? I don't know. You accuse us of talking being done between us regarding the censure, a Brown Act violation that never happened. You feel like you've been singled out. I understand how you might feel that way. But we've only taken actions based off of your behaviors. Once again, if you want to be treated like a regular board member, speak to us and treat us like you want to be treated. And I've not seen that demonstrated from you, at all. And with that, I'll conclude my comments tonight.
Okay, thank you. And, I want to mirror your comments about, council member Hargrove, and it was very, sad to hear that, and our sincere condolences and prayers to the family and the city that they've lost, for everyone in this community. When we have someone who's taken that opportunity and to serve the community, and so, our sincere condolences, for that. One thing that really bothers me is when we have a lack of respect for one another when we're up here in public view, and there are allegations, there are things said that are one-sided, that don't hold merit, that don't, there's a way that we can communicate with one another. It needs to be respectful. We're conducting business for the public. We need to remember that. I don't want our board meetings to be these circuses. We need to be able to compose ourselves, to keep our anger. I'm not only embarrassed for the district, our staff, this is going out to everyone, and it's very disheartening for me when we have actions by our board members that aren't professional and respectful to one another. So with that, I do want to, we have a very, very important week that we're in right now, and I want to wish everyone a very blessed and happy Holy Week and Easter. And with that, this meeting will be adjourned to our regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the Chino Valley Independent Fire District, to be held on Wednesday, April 14th, 2021.